let's take a look at the best Freyna build in the first Descendant. Now this will include the Python and the Fallen Hope. If you're interested in looking at the build, I went ahead and left a Google Drive link in the description just in case you wanted to stare at the build without hearing my voice, which I mean is cool. My feelings aren't hurt. I just want to show that extra care. Okay, so after looking at that amazing display of just taking down these hard bosses like it's nothing, man, like, can you believe that? Hard 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗘 in 16 seconds, like, that's freaking crazy. Starting with the Python, I do want to mention that I grinded 5 of these guys. You can see that the Python Instinct is max level. If you're curious about the unique ability, it increased from a duration of 1 second to 2 seconds with the max. It went from max stacks from 20 to 28. Everything else stayed exactly the same, but our stacks went up and our duration went up, and the recoil went from 30% to absolutely no extra recoil, allowing us to aim a little bit better. So that's, I guess, a bonus. And a little hint for you guys, if you didn't know, if you want to know how many catalysts someone puts on their weapon or how many you put on your weapon, the assigned socket type count right here, it lets you know, 9. And then the same thing with Descendants. So if you come to the main menu, come to Descendant, you'll see right here, there it is. You'll see that all the catalysts that I went ahead and used to level up this character. You don't have to use this many to do this build. If your friend is brand new, don't even worry about it. I'll show you the build in a second, and then you can go ahead and just check it all out for yourself. But for the build on Python, we're going to go for rounds per magazine, firearm attack. I wanted more weak point damage, but the blue one's just fine. You're only going to gain about 2% extra. That little bit of extra damage will help you, I promise you that, but I got the blue tier, so that's unfortunate. The toxic attack of 1151, which is great, nice and golden. For the modules, we got toxic enhancement for 30% equal to firearm attack, have aiming for more weak point damage, rifling enforcement for plus 32%, action and reaction for firearm attack plus 61%, sharp precision shot, which someone told me firing Fiesta is better on the Python. Trust me when I tell you this, you want sharp precision shot, because with all the ammo in the magazine, the fire rate and the damage, it all just goes up. It's very beautiful. Up to 10 stacks, that extra damage is a big game changer. Okay, weak point sight for more weak point damage, because this is a weak point gun. Trust me, you want this. Fire rate up for 25%. Concentrate support ammo for plus 30% in rounds per magazine, plus a little extra critical hit damage if we do hit a crit. Consume magazines just for the reload modifier and the weak point damage, and then of course expand weapon charge for an increase of 49%. Now if you noticed in the gameplay I had 59 rounds and you're having 56 even with copying all my mods, don't worry about it. It's just because of my roll over here, the rounds per magazine 10.1%. That's what gives me the extra 3 rounds. The more ammo the better in my opinion. For the Fallen Hope, this guy's kind of just a secondary, so its modules are just mainly focused on reloading faster, changing weapons so I could change to Python when I use Freyna's 4th ability, and firing Fiesta just to get that 3-second cooldown of not using ammo. This probably is just a little bug. You're probably not supposed to be able to just switch weapons and it has infinite ammo, because then you could kind of do this on anything, but you know, enjoy it while you got it. It might go away. For the Descendant modules, this is what we got. It's beautiful, isn't it? No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna go to Colossus. We got Neurotoxin Synthesis, just for the adds attack reduction and weaken regeneration when using our first one. This one definitely takes a lot more damage when you're hitting those weak points with Pythons, so you definitely want to get this Transcendent for her. Toxic Specialist, this is just so we don't have to worry about the extra cooldown, so if you wanted to use this build with other players online, that's completely fine. It's pretty strong, you'll have no issues. Skill Concentration for critical hit damage. Venom Synctium for just that extra 10% of toxic skill power. Increased HP for survivability. Dangerous Ambush, so when you're landing a skill attack on an enemy that's not targeting you, you increase damage. But what we mainly focus on is on the skill attack against immobilized enemies. So whenever you attack the Colossus and they go down in that state, then they're pretty much immobilized, so it increases your power by an extra 50%, which is nice. Shock Punch, which we went ahead and put a catalyst on, just so it goes up to 15, so we have room for this build. Maximize Power for the skill power modifier of 96. Front Lines for critical damage and an extra critical hit rate. Emergency Measures here for 64.6 on crit hit rate and then more crit damage. Iron Defense just for the defense, just for survivability, and the skill power modifier of 12.7%. If you wanted to replace this with something like Spear and Shield, I mean, that's fine, but as you upgrade this one, the skill power does not go up at all. Iron Defense, it does. So as you can see, you get an extra 4% of power. And then Skill Insight for just critical hit rate. I completely understand if you're skeptical about the Skill Insight one. There's really no other mods that you can put on that'll end up inflicting with something here that can actually increase your overall damage. So Skill Insight just for having the extra chance of hitting those criticals is just a lot better, okay? So if we look at her up here, we got a critical hit rate of 15.3%, which is terrible, but I mean, it could be worse. And then critical hit damage of 4 times, which is just beautiful, which is why we're hitting those big numbers when facing these guys. Then we have our Reactor. This is where it's going to play a big part, okay? Mine is not that good. We have the Python mounting just so we can reach a skill power of 160%. It has Toxic and Tech, but it has blue additional skill attack when attacking Colossus and non-attribute skill power boost ratio. So if you can get the additional skill attack when attacking Colossus in golden, I mean, that'd be so much better. And then instead of non-attribute, get you something like your toxic attack skill power goes up, something like this one, the toxic skill power boost ratio, a little bit of an increase, get it in golden. That'd be the god roll for Freyna. I'm telling you, you could probably cut off a second, probably even 2 seconds on each of these bosses if you really wanted to farm for those. And a little helpful tip, just in case you didn't know, we're going to open up our world map, come over to difficulty level rewards, and then under these 3 categories, we're going to choose Reactor. Then we're going to go ahead and choose Tech because that's her 4th ability. Come to this one and choose Toxic. They had this one on general rounds and then they completely removed it. It won't come back till next week or something like 4 days or something like that. If you look at the next schedule here, the B rotation, 3 days and 6 hours as of this video, of course. All the way at the bottom, I was looking at it. You won't get the Toxic Tech general rounds for 3 days. So, I mean, I kind of had to work with what I had because I couldn't really grind it because it's not here anywhere. They removed it last second on me and I was like, oh no, I guess I just got to make this work somehow. But for the external components, we definitely want to go with the Slayer Auxiliary because all 4 sets gives you skill power plus 26.1%, and then the increase in general rounds and the rounds per magazine plus 9 and 8%, which is absolutely beautiful. You guys can grind for whatever stats you want for these. None of these really bother me too much. I mean, you know, they're nothing game changing or anything. Let's see, like electric resistance, shield recovery modifier, anything like that. I would probably, if I wanted to grind these again, definitely get like MP recovery just so I have more power when I'm facing solo. But even then, I mean, we're doing enough damage that we can top these guys off without having to kill ourselves, which is freaking amazing. And just to show you guys the sockets that I did put on these weapons, you can go ahead and look at them now, take a picture with your phone, pause the video, whatever you'd like, and you can copy these. So we got the Python here. I'm going to go back. The Fallen Hope doesn't really matter too much, but I mean, I'll show you anyway, because what's the harm? Just in case you're curious, there's that one there. Let's go back. And then, of course, we're going to look at the Descendant, Module, Assign, and then these are everything that I have here. If you do end up finding something you want to use instead of Skill Insight, what you're probably going to have to do, depending if it's the same logo here, the 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗘, you're probably going to have to use another crystal catalyzation just to cut this in 3, unless you're happy with the space it gives you. I still have 2 slots, so I could put something else here, but there's really no room at all, and I really prefer Skill Insight. There's nothing else that you can really build for it on here. But like I said before, if you definitely want higher damage, you want to get this reactor with the Python mounting, or if you want to use Fallen Hope, that's fine too. And then get definitely gold, god rolls, the golden god rolls, additional skill attack when attacking Colossus for the Colossus fights, and then the toxic skill power boost ratio. This is probably going to be best. The only reason I'm not using this, because you're wondering, well, I mean, you got the Colossus attack and the toxic skill power boost ratio right there. Why not use that one? If you look under the optimization condition, the Afterglow sword mounting is a sniper rifle. With Freyna, like, it just doesn't work that well. You definitely want Python or Fallen Hope if you really want to build for maximum damage. So like I said, if you can get those stats rolled on one of these with the mounting and then the toxic and tech, you can definitely probably see like an increase of 1 to 2 seconds, maybe even 3 seconds. It's probably that much crazier reduction on killing these bosses. But if you could drop me a like on the video, I'd greatly appreciate that, man. Your support means the world to me. It's been crazy these past few weeks since the game dropped. You guys are crazy, man. We passed 1K and we're killing it. Thank you so much. Remember to stay safe, because the world without you is nothing.